How's it going, everyone? Jesus here, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. Honestly, Anchor is a very enjoyable platform to be on, listen on, and just a joy to be a part of this community. Anchor, come check us out. And welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to give you another series review. We're going to be talking about Marvel Studios miniseries Hawkeye. It is a 6-episode series, kind of telling this tale of Hawkeye and Kate Bishop union, and kind of the exploration on Hawkeye's aftermath of all his deeds as the Ronin, and kind of him just dealing with the loss of Natasha, Black Widow, and then just getting introduced, with the new character of Kate Bishop. We're not going to get too deep into Hawkeye's as far as spoilers and stuff. I will be doing an after credits with that one for sure. But as far as the series, for a 6-episode series, it's a mix of funfare, a lot of Easter eggs, and a lot of surprises, more than you thought, and a lot more characters than you were expecting to pop up here and there in introductions. For sure, Hawkeye is more in the lines like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's pretty grounded for the most part, with some of the fun trick arrows here and there. Some of the introduction to Kate Bishop into this new MCU, and kind of exploring her character. At first takes a little bit of time to get used to, but at the end I felt that she is a fun character. And I'm looking more forward to her in the future. For sure, it took a little bit to enjoy this version of Kate Bishop, but like I said, it works well with Clint and everything. For sure, some of the sequences that are portrayed in this show are fun. Some of the villains that are cast are okay. Alright, this is interesting. Some of the twists and turns that turned out didn't see that one coming. Not so heavy, oh wow, I did not see that coming. More of oh, okay, that took a pivot. Alright, let's see where it goes. And some of the character development of some of the newer character outside of Kate and Clint and Kate were alright. What more are we gonna get from this? For sure, this being part of the new Phase 4 and kind of Clint kind of exiting the role as Hawkeye and kind of introducing Kate. It's interesting the way they explored kind of her origin. Also, kind of is interesting. It's kind of episode 1, so I'll go a little bit into of her just being there in the 2012 Chitauri invasion, everything. It's her kind of seeing Hawkeye out in the rooftops. That's cool. Yeah, that's really amazing because you get to see just basically, Hawkeye's your average Joe, who's just very good with the bow and arrow, on just pure accuracy. It's interesting. And then kind of this interesting Christmassy, I gotta get home to the family by Christmas, and kind of then also dealing with the effects of all the Ronin stuff while he was like this like vigilante murderer. Like, okay, well, yeah, there's a lot, and for the most part, every episode had its highs and lows. Some, not that many lows in my opinion, but there was never that many highs. There was like it fluctuated, but there was more highs than lows, but not that there weren't that many highs. I think the final sequence at the end, there's a fun car scene. Those are kind of the best highs you'll get, and some of the surprises themselves were pretty interesting highs and lows. There weren't really any big lows. Maybe the finale. There's something with the finale I want to talk about, but that's in the after credits. That were like, okay, what more are we gonna get? Yeah, because it just doesn't hit well for me. Besides that, like, it was a fun journey to go with Clint and Kate, just to get these characters and a fun crew as well. Some of the people they meet along the way in this miniseries, they're fun. Like, I felt like that when we got first introduced to them, there were just gonna be a one-time thing, but they come back and it's enjoyable to see just this kind of expansion and kind of some of the implications that is what the MCU is. There's not that many major references to like MCU people. They do a fun Broadway like thing in the episode 1, doing a Broadway show called was it The Adventures Our America Captain? But it's basically just retelling the 2012 thing, and it's funny just to see this Broadway musical. And if you were hoping it to be more, I'll give you this. Like there is an after credits where one of them is you get to see the entire performance. Like, yeah, it's interesting to say the least. If you enjoy Broadway musicals, yeah, because you have to think about it. They had to film the entire thing, so why not make a full actual thing about it? But that's for sure. But like some of the like fight sequences in this thing were really well done. It's your classic like superhero Marvel like choreography. So there's some fun motions here and there. Some of the comedy was very was there too. Nothing too big. Nothing really fell flat too much. But for sure, it wasn't like a gut buster. There were just some fun quips here and there. One character for sure, as far as comedy, was very lovable later on, and a fun return for sure. But it's just this story between Kate and Hawkeye and kind of everything like that, her family and stuff like that. It's very, very like, okay. Like you kind of within this like 1 week period, you can see kind of this like this relationship build up of like mentoree and stuff like that, and like admirer of the trade and stuff. And yeah, it overall it was a fun show. Out of all the series, it wasn't the best of everything, but it was like Hawkeye itself was just enjoyable to watch. Like always, it's one of those things. It's a Marvel thing, so you have to always wonder like, what's the big speculation, stuff like that. So there was always talk about this, not as heavy because what sucks for me in particular, this show was coming out during the time of No Way Home, so a lot of the talk was more Spider-Man heavy, so there wasn't that much speculation when it came with Hawkeye, but there wasn't really much speculation needed because it was a very grounded show, unlike WandaVision and Loki. So there's like, you really didn't have to like theorize so much. But yeah, like Hawkeye, like from beginning to end, it was like a very good show, and I was hoping there was gonna be a little bit more like surprises, or like a lot more like interesting like arrow sequences, you know, like shot sequences. Like we get a couple fun trick stuff, and we get like two like fun like sequences, but that's kind of it. Like two big like sequences like in a film. It's like I was hoping maybe like two more, or just something a little bit more like as far as that. But overall, it was a good film. Like a good series. Yeah, it's a good series. I'm gonna give this one, Hawkeye, solid. It's teetering between a 7 and 8. It was good. It was good. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10. Yeah, it was fun. A fun series. There's very few times I'll probably ever go back and watch this, but there are fun sequences for sure to watch. There's a couple fun quips to listen to, but there's something more than that in this one. But overall, good. Everyone was great. Like I said, the performances were wonderful. It took a while for me to get used to the Kate Bishop character, but at the end, I'm like, all right, I'm looking forward to more from this character. But yeah, and seeing kind of how Hawkeye, Clint Barton will kind of phase out a little bit. Yeah, so thank you for listening or watching. As always, you can hit me up and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And until next time, see ya.